Our next guest is in the studio. She sprung to fame as the student and controversial teacher Becca in Hollyoaks, and she's since gone on to star as PC Sally Armstrong in ITV's The Bill, and impressed all with her footwork on both Strictly Come Dancing and in the West End. It is Bastian. And I remember doing this sort of this time last year and seeing you then.
The time, yeah.
Yes, you were doing Burning the Floor, crikey. And you've been in so many, you know, familiar soaps to us. Hollyoaks, it started off, because you knew you wanted to be an actress from a very early age.
I was one of those really irritating actress children who used to put on shows and dress up all the time and make my parents watch me, and ridiculous. But it's a strange thing. It's just something I always knew I really wanted, and started working professionally actually when I was about 10. But Hollyoaks is probably a big break for me. That happened when I was 19, and I stayed up there for 6 years and had it was kind of like my university years up there, really.
So you didn't go to drama school then?
I went to stage school.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I went there for about 3 years.
Oh, another one of those.
I know, 9 stage school jazz hands.
Yeah, but it's paid off, hasn't it? And as I say, Hollyoaks, you couldn't have... That was your first big job, really, where you exploded onto the screens as Becca.
Oh, it's such a great... I mean, it was a fantastic job to do, and they give you so many different types of storylines, and, you know, you get to try things out. It's comedy, tears, you know, everything.
Yeah, well, that one where Becca was a teacher, wasn't she, and who had an unfortunate episode with one of her pupils, that was actually named the best storyline at the time, wasn't it?
We got a soap award for that, which was fantastic. And it was, at the time, you know, they were never sure whether to go for that storyline or not, because it was, you know, it was really controversial, and they decided to embrace it. And Hollyoaks is always quite brave with things like that, and I'm really glad they did it.
And then you moved on to The Bill as PC Sally Armstrong.
Yes.
Have you got fond memories of
that? The Bill is an amazing job, actually, because you work with just... Oh, no, look how big my police hat is on my head.
Yes, it has dwarfed you.
My first day, I put it on my head in shot the wrong way round, and it went out in the first episode.
Oh, did it?
It's so embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the people on those jobs as well that make them so fantastic. I made some amazing friends. I still see a lot of the guys. Yeah, I got to tear around in police cars and do lots of stunts, and it was a very, very different character to the character I've been playing on Hollyoaks.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice opportunity for me, and stayed there about 3 years.
We had Lucy Speed in yesterday. Speedo was here.
She lives up the road from me.
Does she? Yeah. And obviously you're on The Bill together, and she was saying as well how it was just such an amazing place to work because of the people who work there.
Yeah, and the crew as well. It was a real... It had been going for about 27 years when it finished, and it was such a shame that they decided to stop making that.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, you still expect it to be on somehow.
And I don't think they've made anything that's filled that slot, really. I think there's a Bill-shaped hole in the
bosses.
I think so.
And just tell them they've made a huge mistake. However, you have not made that many mistakes in your career, and certainly not with your little feet on Strictly Come Dancing. How did you do that? Because I don't know how you remembered all the steps.
I was just actually talking to Chloe about it, because she did the ice skating. We were saying you really miss it when it finishes, especially the more time that goes by, and you forget how tired you were and how full on the whole experience is. And
well, when you've been in it as long as you did, because you got to the semi-final, didn't you? So it's already become a way of life, training for 8-10 hours a day, and then I mean your whole life revolves around the show, doesn't it?
I've absolutely got the bug. I still do it. I go to, you know, Karen Hardy's got a studio in Chelsea, so I train there. Yeah, so it's nice. I mean, doing a show like that, the fantastic thing is it really gives you another string to your bow.
Arlene Phillips was on Daybreak.
I saw her, actually. Yeah, I thought I might see her in the corridors, but we haven't run into each other
she
yet.
kept, when I was on Strictly, she kept cornering me in the corridor saying, you can be a dancer, you just need to get your mind. I don't want to be a dancer.
Oh, she's the most encouraging person, though. She was on the tour. She didn't do the show that I did, but she came on tour with us afterwards, and she'd be the same. She'd come on, you can do this. Especially because I found the ballroom dancing a bit easier than the Latin, but she sort of really helped me unleash the Latin side of things.
Yeah, and you know, she was a mother figure around the place, although she had that sort of acid tongue up front, and you know, she was so nice behind the scenes, and then when she judged me, she was so vile to me. I thought, oh my God, I thought you were my mum, now you're... But I think she's missed.
I think so too. I think so too. Well, she's passionate about it. She loves dance. She loves what she does. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, this time last year, I remember interviewing you, and you were doing Burn the Floor with Brian, who you were with at the time, and that's modern history now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll skip on from that, I think, because you've got a book that's very dear to your heart.
I do, yes. So thank you so much for letting me come on and talk about it. It was written by my auntie. It's called Annie's Cancer Companion, an A to Z of treatments. I mean, basically the story is she was diagnosed with a really aggressive form of cancer, and she was told she had 6 months to live, at which point, in true Auntie Annie fashion, she told them where to stick it and went out there and found out as much information as she possibly could, got involved in drugs trials, she got involved with Europeana, standardising breast cancer care across Europe. She got very passionate about fighting the disease, and she started to put together this book. And her idea was that she wanted to make all this information available to other women, because she lived for a further 6 years after that and had a really full, and happy life.
Yeah.
And she wanted to, make sure that if the book could just help one more woman feel more empowered, feel more educated, because I think she realised that knowledge is power, really.
Yeah, and she's done the footwork in a way, hasn't she, for women who might have been diagnosed and thrown into this awful...
Yes. And yes, and there's, I think it started back when my grandmother was actually diagnosed when I was about 10, and she was so frightened, because this was going back, about 20 years, and there wasn't the information that there is now, so she refused chemo, sadly, and she died 2 years later. So I think when it happened to my auntie, she thought, right, this is it, I'm absolutely going to grab this thing. And she did. She fought it with everything she's got. So the book is a real a mixture of Western and Eastern medicine, a holistic approach to cancer. But there's one of the leading voices in oncology, Professor Carol Sakura, who's contributed to the book.
Yeah. Oh, great. And it's called Annie's Cancer Companion.
Yes.
And as you say, you're hoping that it will save the lives of some women if they get hold of it. And
yeah, it literally is an A to Z of every question you could possibly come up with, really. And I think the idea is just to have as much information as you possibly can. That's the important thing, and to feel more in control and more in the driving seat. And she used to be told she'd have, chemo on Thursday. She'd be like, no, I'm going out with my girlfriends on Thursday. I'll come in on Monday. Thank you.
Well, she still lives on through you, this morning, your Auntie Annie. Ali, lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in. Maybe this time next year we'll do it again.
It's becoming a yearly
thing. All right.